Hey, Jill Stowell here with Lauren Ma from Stowell Learning Center. Lauren will be starting a 6-week collaborative problem solving class for parents on Tuesday, January 9th at our Chino Center. I just think this is really important and I don't want you to miss it. If you're tearing your hair out over your child's difficult behavior, or if your child's behavior is tearing your family apart, you need to know that this is a skills problem, not a bad parent or a bad kid problem. And collaborative problem solving, or CPS, is all about helping parents and kids build the skills that will bring greater peace and enjoyment back into your lives. Lauren, can you just give us a quick idea about what CPS is and how it differs from traditional views and approaches to behavior?
Absolutely. So, CPS or collaborative problem solving, just like the work that we've been doing for almost 40 years, approaches behavior as a skill deficit. Okay, so the traditional approach is kids do well if they want to, if they're motivated enough, if they have, the appropriate incentives, then they will choose to behave. And kids that are not behaving are just making bad choices. Well, CPS says kids do well if they can, if they truly have the skills. And so, what collaborative problem solving does is teaches both children and adults to build skills strategically. And
Mhm.
by doing so together, it strengthens the child adult relationship. And so that is just as important because a lot of our kids
Right.
who have challenges with behaviors have lost faith or trust with the adults in their lives because they're constantly being asked to do things that they don't have the skills to do. And that's very frustrating. So I love this approach because it's beneficial to both the adult and the child. It builds skills on both ends, and it really does work. I've seen the effects of that in our own centers.
Absolutely. When a child struggles with reading or math or doing their schoolwork, they're often viewed as lazy or unmotivated. And yet, decades of research and our own work in the field has shown that when it comes to learning, the real problem lies with weak underlying skills. And when we identify and develop those underlying skills, the brain is then ready and able to learn the academic skills. And the symptoms then of laziness or lack of motivation go away. Well, the same principle is true of behavior. So, what are some of those underlying skills that support behavior?
So the big three are cognitive flexibility, mental flexibility, so the ability to adapt to recognize disappointment and move on,
Mhm.
to think about alternative solutions, not get stuck. Cognitive flexibility, it's an executive function skill. It has an extreme impact on behavior. If you have poor cognitive flexibility, you're going to be disappointed all the time, and
Right.
dysregulated all the time. And so we often see that in our kids. So that's a big one, cognitive flexibility. The other one is stress tolerance. So the amount of demand that one's nervous system can tolerate. And this is unique to every individual. And we're seeing so many kids with poor stress tolerance. And so things that we as the adults might see as not really a demand or a low demand may be really stressful for some of these kids because they have poor stress tolerance. They're not able to regulate themselves enough to meet those demands in their environment. And then the other one is emotional regulation. And it goes hand in hand with both
Mhm.
cognitive flexibility and stress tolerance, but the ability to recognize their own emotions, regulate their own emotions, handle feelings, big feelings when they're disappointed or sad or angry. Again, going along with all those natural stresses of the world, just being able to regulate their emotions. So those are the big three. There's a whole lot of underlying skills that
Right.
can impact behavior, but those are the big three. That's when we see the big flare-ups, the big behavioral outbursts, things like that.
And those are things that we might just assume that everybody really has the ability to do if they want to. And so thinking of it in terms of what it really is, which are skills, is a real shift in perspective. And I think that's really, really important.
Mhm.
So you've been working with some of our families with CPS in our different centers. What are some of the changes that families have seen as you've been working together with collaborative problem solving?
Yeah, it's been amazing. Not just families. I've had school teams also
Mhm.
recognize huge changes in our kids despite the diagnoses. So we have kiddos, that have a wide range of diagnoses,
Mhm.
and we've seen them build skills. And these are skills that some of the adults in their lives assumed they were incapable of doing. And those
Mm.
skills come together. I met with a school team recently, and the admin team described it as a remarkable transformation between the child this year, this school year, and last year. I mean, complete 180. That all the teachers, all the admin staff were saying this child is a completely different person.
Mm.
Um, that was CPS. She built a lot of those cognitive flexibility and stress tolerance skills over the summer as we worked through CPS. And then just this increased ability to handle more demands. We see our kids taking on more risks,
Mm.
having the confidence to try, whereas before, they would, especially with academics, avoid a lot of things and get really dysregulated when it came to academic skills. So, and then parents, saving a lot of time and energy, not having to front load their child, not having to modify everything. That's a huge improvement. And then probably the biggest one for me as a mom that really matters is I see those improved parent-child relationships. I see parents who are able to be closer with their kids now, that are not constantly fighting. They're not constantly, at each other's throats because the morning routine once again, went badly. And that's really important. I know for me as a mom, that's really all that I would want to change
Mhm.
is, just to love my kids um, as they should be loved, and to have
Right.
that relationship.
I love hearing you talk about it with your own kids too, because
Mm-hmm.
um, as parents, we so want that relationship, and we're going to worry about our kids no matter what. But to be able to reduce the worry and the stress and the focus on that, and just really enjoy our kids and our families is amazing. So I know you are really passionate about this approach. Um, I mean, you've kind of already said it, but why should parents who have children with challenging behavior absolutely make time for this CPS class?
So you're going to spend the time somewhere. Okay. That's the thing. When you have a kid that struggles with anything, there's going to be time and energy. So when we used to talk about, we still do, we talk about, the work that we do, correcting learning and attention challenges. We used to say that living with a learning challenge, just kind of getting by, is like trying to ride a bike with a flat tire. Okay. And so we used to say, why not just fix the tire? You're spending all this extra time, energy, money maybe into different things to try to cover up the problem, to try to get by. And you're really, just trying to ride a bike that doesn't have a tire that's fully inflated. So you're spending all this extra time and energy trying to just you know, stay
Mhm.
upright. And so the same is can be said for behavior challenges. Parents are spending endless amounts of time and mental energy truly fighting their
Yes.
kids, or trying to, front load, or, make all the conditions. I've seen families where the entire family's routine is designed so that, one of the children is not triggered because they
Mhm.
don't have the emotional regulation to handle stress. So the entire family is spending all their time and energy trying to adapt to that. Why not just fix the tire? It's not an
Right.
overnight fix, but it does slowly start to repair the tires or the underlying skills. And so
Right.
before you know it, you're riding a bike, you're cruising. And
Yeah.
that's really what it feels like when you're in it. a lot of times it's hard to see, like, progress is being made. But man, you look back and you're like, oh my gosh, how far have we come? This is
Right,
incredible. Yeah.
right.
So that's, yeah.
So, what do people need to know about the upcoming classes here in Chino, which you are doing, and in Orange County, California, which I think Deborah Anafarian is running that one?
hmm So we're partnering with Helping the Behaviorally Challenging Child, HBCC. They are doing a 6 week class in Orange County, and we are doing the same 6 week class for the Inland Empire Chino area. It's 6 Tuesday evenings starting January 9th, 2024. So I will be doing our Chino Center classes. So come join me if you're in the Inland Empire or East San Gabriel Valley. Come join me. We're gonna have a lot of fun. I'm gonna approach it as a mom. I've done this approach with my own kids. My kids are not neurodiverse, but they are big feelers. They have big emotions. And that has been a journey for me personally as a parent who doesn't tend to have big emotions and doesn't really understand it. I've learned a lot about my kids. So I'll be sharing that. It's a safe place to come and learn. You'll be with like-minded parents who are going through the same thing. So go to stowellcenter.com/collaborative dash problem dash solving. You'll find the webpage on our website to register. It's $250 a person or $400 for a co-parenting couple. So you can, spouses, or if you're co-parenting with another parent. We've had, a parent and a grandparent that may be living in the home that are both, working with the child and want to be on the same page. Perfect. And that includes all of the course materials. So you'll get a notebook, you'll get a workbook. You're going to be working, you're going to be learning a lot, but all of that's included for those fees.
Great. And what else would you like parents to know about CPS?
So here I'll let you in on a little secret. And we don't get into this until about like week 5, but I'll let you know now. You parents are going to build your own skills through this process. You may actually build more skills than your child in this process. It is an incredible learning process.
Mhm.
You learn a lot about yourself. You learn a lot about the way that you process. And then you have this child that you love so much in the world, and how you can have a better relationship with them. So that's the secret, is that we as parents we learn so much through our children, and I believe that that's truly a gift.
When parents and teachers learn to look at behavior as a skills problem and embrace the CPS approach, it truly changes everything. It does. So, one more time, how can people register for either Chino or Orange County class that is starting on January 9th?
For the Chino class, that would be through our website, stowellcenter.com/collaborative dash problem dash solving. You can also navigate, to the top of our website. It's under resources and then community, collaborative problem solving. We have our own page. You can register right there. For the Orange County class, that is hosted by Helping the Behaviorally Challenging Child. So their website is hbcc.us, and you can sign up right there online as well.
Great. Well, thank you, Lauren. We are all about changing lives and changing the world, and CPS is a key piece of that puzzle. So, thank you, everyone, for listening. Please, please share this with other parents you know.